I'm Craig O, and join me on my adventures with Craig O's Cryptocurrency as we cover the blockchain, Web3, NFT, and cryptocurrency technologies. Interviewing the best in the industry, giving tips and tricks, and also sharing with you projects that I'm most excited about. You're watching Craig O's Crypto Corner, the best in Web3, blockchain, NFT, and cryptocurrency technology. Great reviews, incredible interviews with some of the leading people in the Web3 ethos, and just the general things, Web3. Now, I would describe today's guest as a credible OG in the Elrond ecosystem. He's a military contractor with 18 years of experience, bringing that same level of discipline to his Web3 journey. Duncan is the head of marketing for Super Rare Bears and is also one of the community's largest holders. SRB is a collection of 10,000 kick-ass bears with 670 unique traits and over 5,000 in EGLD traded volume to date. He is committed to the Elrond ecosystem and sees long-term value with the founder and CEO Beniamin Mincu at the head of the Elrond network and the Maiar app. We will talk about the collection, the community, the roadmap, and the project evaluations. Let's get to it. Welcome, Duncan. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pleasant, and I've been looking forward to this conversation for a little bit, man. So love the fire, the energy, the passion that you bring to it, and very excited about this.
Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. We connected on Twitter. Shout out to Pit Panther 01 and the Elrond Clubhouse. We'll talk a little bit about them today. But what I thought was really cool is how you're engaged, how you're building a brand, in a market which has been financially challenged overall through all blockchains, through cryptos and NFTs, how the excitement, enthusiasm from your end has been palpable and contagious. And so, not to, no fear of missing out, but why SRB? Why are you in this community? That's the first question for you.
Sure. Actually, a fun fact is I jumped into it and didn't even want to get into NFTs to begin with. I tried staying far away from it, and a couple of buddies of mine in the Telegram chat brought up this NFT project. I looked into it. It became sort of just a competitive race on who can have more bears, and those guys they were really schooling me with it. So I was interested in it, looked into the community on Telegram. The community was very cooperative and appreciative of any type of attention, really. And it really took off from there. I got into some great conversations with them and jumped into it and just kept going until the mint out happened over March this year.
That's fantastic. And again, it was all about the collaboration and a little bit of that fun competition that originally got you in. Where do you see this collection? And I like to think out, especially right now in this market when people are either thinking about entering the space or they're thinking about doubling down or possibly getting into new communities through that brand building opportunity. So where do you see this collection 5 years from now, as the blockchain and Web3 infrastructure start to take hold of the general public?
I see us as very, very competitive up there with the other NFT projects. We don't like to compete. We kind of like to be our own. And the team members that are involved in this project are absolutely superb. In my humble opinion, they are the greatest team that we got in our ecosystem. Like the amount of work that they put in, zero complaints, always positive, and we're always checking in with each other, so that the communication's not broken there. And with a good team, you have a good project. You have community members that are excited to be there. So the innovative ideas and the creativity kind of moves that forward. And what you can expect is, got a game coming out, got staking options coming out, and it's just building, moving forward to much more to look forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait to dive into that roadmap with you. One of the things that I think about is social responsibility. If you get into an NFT community, or do I, right? As an individual, it is your responsibility to engage on Twitter and Discord. And we build that community through our positivity, our marketing, and our overall engagement. Duncan, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I find it very, very important. That's why I do it so often. So like I get into Twitter, I post a bear that I own every day, kind of come up with a little fun story on it. it's completely up to everyone else, like how they view their bears. Like, is it the art that you like? Is it the rarity? Is it some of the traits that they possess on the token itself? And that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Is that, like, with that, without that communication, you don't have any reassurance that your project, your team members care about your community. So if you're active and you're speaking and you're transparent and you got stuff in line of the motion that you're wanting to go in, the direction that you're wanting to lead the project or the company, then you rally your troops. And your support, you have to support your supporters. They are there for whatever their own personal benefits, or maybe they just really want to be involved in the team. And that's kind of how I found myself in the position of where I'm at.
I love it, because you're the ray of light in the super rare bear community. I mean, you continue to move it forward, and I do want to talk to you right now about the rare token launch and how it helps the SRB community. So why don't we dive a little bit into that? So what is the rare token, and what is its value and utility right now?
So with the rare token right now, we just launched it out. Doesn't have doesn't There's nothing in utility wise that you can use it for just immediately, besides basically owning it and swapping it on Jex, because we did just get that approved through Jex. We just been approved through GitHub, and so the tokens are going to be used on the next portion, and that's bringing up the staking, which will be rewarded, which you can use the tokens for, which we have a great medium that describes every bit of our tokenomics. We've been working on it endlessly. The team has been working on it endlessly, and they put a lot of work and effort into that. So if anyone does need it, I can supply it. We have it kind of posted throughout the team's project page. I've done it a few times on my own, and obviously, we're live, we're active on Telegram. Come up with any questions, concerns, and we can shed some light on it. Just seeing as the fact that everything's not written in stone, and so everything is subject to change. Things could change because we have a great community that comes up with awesome suggestions, and we like to drive the project in the direction of where we see that the community is happy with their project.
I love it. And I think what's important for people to hear, the newbies, the intermediates kind of already know it, but when you launch a token, to me, that's a good sign for a community that's been around for a while, because what you're trying to do in part is build the money side of it, right? Because that token provides for value. Maybe it's a new drop that will happen and those tokens can go to pay for that. Maybe it's merchandise. Obviously, there will be a liquidity pool involved at some point. Um, you know, what are your thoughts on, when you look at your token launch that you guys did, what are pros and cons? And obviously, I say with us, no FUD. It's never FUD with you. But what are the pros and cons of a token launch? And, what was the thought that went behind launching the rare token?
So, the pros to launching a token is just the excitement on it, the capabilities, what can it do, the potential of it. And, you have to be kind of creative with its options. And that's why we're not locked in, because, as time in this space moves forward, there comes new ideas and there comes new tools to use. So it'd be important to keep it kind of as this utility token that can be used sort of for anything. So that's sort of what I look at as the pros. Is that we were very, very excited about going through this process. The guys were, I'm pretty sure that they were stressed. They never expressed that they were stressed, but I'm pretty sure that they had to been stressed, because you got a community that's asking when, and we get that very famous question, that one liner all the time. And that's not just us, but that's crypto. We want to know when we're going to get our stuff, right? And so the community, we just wanted to make sure that we deliver, and we deliver it, properly, and that we're not making them wait too long. So the suspense and the anxiety and just wanting to get it out, that sort of works against you. So you want to make sure that it's smooth, that when you're kind of like sealing all those cracks and whatever we're coming up with, that nothing's going to leak through, and that it looks great.
I love it. I think right now during this time, as we're building and creating content and creating that, that positivity that just genuinely flows through both of us. I feel like right now this building period will allow over the next 1 to 2, maybe even 3 years, that you're going to see a lot of businesses, products, or service outside of Web3 that are going to be like, hey, we like your project, we like your community, we like your engagements, the retweets, the likes, the comments, the shares. And I feel like, I'm very bullish on you, and it makes me very excited about Super Rare Bears and its future because of you. And without puffing you up too much, you have amassed quite an NFT collection on the Elrond blockchain. Talk to us a little bit about that and what projects you've selected, and maybe, why. Maybe we don't have to be super specific, but like, what were your decisions on getting in different projects and communities? Tell me a little bit about that.
So, getting into it, the Super Rare Bears were the first NFT that project that I kind of like aped into and got kind of completely bullish with. Then I looked around and I was taking a look at Boss Bees, and I was taking a look at these Maiar punks, and I was taking a look at Nogans, because the quality that Josh comes through with is so well done. And I was very interested in that. It was just, what kind of funds did I have? What did I possess? What am I earning? And what does not hurt me to kind of look as an investment with NFTs. So some of the projects that I kind of got crazy with was Crypto Pits. I really dug their work. I like the personality that they got there, because it's not too serious, but they're serious when they need to be. When rubber meets the road, you got to get the work done. They are an extremely hard-working project, and you get into a Spaces conversation, and it's just good old boys talking. And it's locker room talk. It's just fun. You don't have to watch what you say or walk on eggshells, and that matched a lot of my personality. So got into those guys, and obviously some of the smaller projects that just were beginning to launch. I wanted to just show my support, and that's just me personally. And individually, I want to show that support, because we understand the slow moving process of minting sometimes. Obviously, with the larger collection that you are, the larger supply that your project has, the more difficult it tends to be with minting. And to give that support, it kind of empowers people, and it makes them kind of push harder for their community. So we appreciate all the support that we got, and that's what we try to bring forward to everybody else.
Love it. You had a very busy weekend. You got to meet with some of the other NFT communities within the Elrond ecosystem. Tell me about that, how it went down, and who you connected with.
Sure. So Connor from the Arc Labs and from the Elrond Frog Army, he text messaged me, or actually he sent me a direct message, and asked if I'd be interested, and potentially, just a little get together and get to know people personally. We all discuss things over even this right here, a podcast, an interview, direct messages, and it sometimes it doesn't feel as personable. So he knew I was relatively local, and was seeing if I was interested in doing an actual physical meetup. And from there, he brought his brother in. They brought their buddy in. Those guys, they run the Elrond Frog Army. They run the Arc Labs, charitable, and I'd have to say that they're affordable at the moment, and they're picking up steam. I wanted to represent. I got their little shirt right here, little frog on it.
Love
And
it.
and then obviously Steven was involved with Crypto Pits, and dude's got just a killer personality. He kind of is the person that gives me that extra excitement and energy to be around people, and to discuss things that we're interested in.
What that was really cool is, what I love about Elrond the most is, well, there's a bunch of things, but I would say first is high transaction speed,
Mhm.
low gas fees, so you're able to move around things much quicker. I love the Maiar app. Beniamin Mincu, who is the CEO and founder of Elrond and the Maiar app, really impresses me with his tweets, as well as, let's talk a little bit about the Elrond Clubhouse. What are your thoughts on these small communities, sub-communities that support the growth of Elrond and the overall arching blockchain?
Sure. I really like that High Res took an initiative and getting that done. You know, all the respect in the world to that dude. Pushes hard. He's well known through the community. He's well known just through his music itself and his YouTube following. But you know, how he decides to interact with that and how he decides to blend that and mix that, he does so well. So you know, bringing up and creating this clubhouse, this idea that comes to life by, you know, the members that get involved in it, because as the founder, you can only do so much, right? You have an idea, and you put that power into people's hands, and you watch that idea kind of blossom. So and you know, Greg came in there, Pit Panther. You know, you got that kiddo Zane involved in it from Australia that's
9 years
just
old.
shooting his own personal content. And you know, it's just it's something that we really need. And that's something that we were discussing this weekend, you know, just in regards to uh being that educational driver that the system that the ecosystem needs and what Elrond needs. And that's what I feel like Arc Labs and Elrond Frog Army sort of kind of established before people knew what a clubhouse was, right? And now it's really taken off. They want to know what they can do to contribute to it, and that's what we've been discussing. How do we get other people involved? How do we mend and keep great relationships with other projects out there?
You
Because
know, you know
ultimately,
what?
that's what we want to do.
You know what I think it is? I always say people's first step into the pool is Twitter, right? Most people have a Twitter account. Go follow these different pages. What's really cool about you is that if I have a question or you have a question for me, vice versa, but especially you because you're an Elrond OG here. That if I
Sure.
have a nuanced question or how do I do this or how do I do that, it feel less intimidated because I know that I have people around me that are wanting to help me, right? As I'm out there creating great content, focused, working hard, promoting people and communities that I believe in, I know that I have those people that support me in my corner. And I feel that a lot of individuals are concerned or overwhelmed. And the thing that I say is with the Elrond blockchain, high transaction speeds, low, super low gas fees, like hundreds of a penny, whereas on other blockchains, it's costing you a lot of money. I mean, sometimes you're spending thousands of dollars a year. I have a friend of mine who
Yeah.
spent $30,000 last year in gas fees on
Alone.
another blockchain. I'm going to leave it there. And by the way, I like that blockchain, but
Yeah.
this I feel kind of takes down a heavy barrier. And you know, when you talk about communities like yours, once you set up your Maiar app wallet and you've gotten EGLD on there, and there's a bunch of different ways, and I have videos for people out there, then what you can do is then you get your EGLD on there, which is the native token to the Elrond blockchain, and then you hop into, you know, XOXNO, or you hop into the other marketplace of Frame It and or Dead Rare. Again, there's a lot of them. NFTR, I think, right? There's a bunch of them. And you hop in there, you get into this community, you've got it in your wallet, and you start engaging. And then through that membership, you can start asking those questions. And people would even answer it even if you didn't have a super rare bear. But it's great when you come onto that community and you're part of it. You know, do you think, right? We've got a small number of people right now, a small army that's passionate about Elrond. I have a really exciting feeling that when you look at the EGLD that went up to, I think $450 right now, we're probably between 50 and $60, give or take, per EGLD. It's really exciting because the potential, not financial advice, is massive. What is the number one thing that for you, Duncan, you've learned from being a collector that you would give that advice to someone else?
It's patience because the market is so volatile, but you see the cycles that we go through, and nothing's a for sure bet. So there were points in time where I was in the red, maybe 75%, 85%, and feeling that this were the early stages in my investment, and I felt like, you know, Elron was the worst financial decision I've ever made in my life. And you know, speaking with some of the community members and speaking to a real good buddy of mine that lives in Las Vegas, he told me, you know, that's the way the market is, and if you kind of hold on, like it's always going to go up. It's just when will it go up, because it's going to go back down, and And will it go up higher this time, or is it going to go up higher next time? You don't know. But the thing is that you're seeing the advancement and you're seeing the value of it increase. It's just at what points are you getting in at? Because where you're at today, you're going to see an improvement in 10 years. You're going to see an improvement in 7 years. It's just the work of it.
Well, we're an instant gratification community or society, right? And so when I think about my podcast, we've created a tremendous amount of content. And I don't sit there every day going, oh, new follower, new subscriber, more engagement on TikTok or YouTube. I just keep my head down, focus on creating content, engage with the positivity of those that are engaging, and criticism will come as it does. What is sweeping the floor Fridays? I want to talk a little bit about that because I think that's really cool.
So it's sort of an incentive to get people rowdy and ruckus on their involvement with the project. And there's a slight bit of competitiveness with there too, because people are like, hey, giving you a 5-minute warning, I'm about to list a bear, and it's pretty good. And then you see a bear pop up on the market, and everybody's kind of darting for it and trying to pick it up. And then some of them you can just tell some people ain't feeling, and whether it's art, rarity, or whatnot, we all have our own flavors, right? We're all fascinated by something that just it resonates with us, and so with the Sweep the Floor Fridays, we start those off on a Friday. We make it last all the way to a Sunday. We give our announcement of the winner on Sunday. There's multiple winners, so being involved with it just by buying one bear, the potential, the upside of winning additional NFTs or tokens, ESDTs themselves. Maybe we might even give you an additional super rare bear or abominators that we're going to be using to mutate our bears in the future.
Yep, kind of like the serum, or we actually on one of the podcasts I ate a dessert with my on-chain monkey, and we created a karma monkey. So it's really cool to see that really successful projects are creating the foundation around what Web3 is going to represent for the next 2 to 3 years. And I think it's that long-term, thought process. I kind of like the Sweep the Floor Fridays and that engagement, because that engagement goes onto Twitter and obviously most importantly as well, Discord. We don't never want to discount it. I used to ask that question, and when Easton Gladney came on, and he's come on a few times since, I would ask him, and he's an Elrond pro. I would say, tell me, what are your thoughts? Like, how do you figure out what projects you're getting into? And, one of the things that was a big challenge is if you're in too many projects, sometimes you can't closely follow that roadmap. Let's talk about what is your one thing that you love about the Maiar app, right? Because that's part of our blockchain and that's our direct wallet into the ecosystem to buy and sell and trade NFTs.
Sure. So the Maiar app itself, it feels like it's easier to access that than it is to access my actual bank account. If whatever I want to spend on there, I don't have to explain why I want to spend it or anything. I can just do it, and I don't need anyone's permission because I own it, right? So the accessibility, the ease of use, just to send it over to a friend or some family, a little bit of EGLD if they need it. Storing your NFTs and taking a look at them in the Maiar app. I feel there could be some improvements that are out there, but you can take a look at your NFTs too, and you can be seeing the analytics of how the charts are looking with the price. So it's a cool, it's not just a wallet, it's like a tool.
Absolutely, and it's very easy. It's very easy and user friendly because there are other wallets that I learned on that were very intimidating, and this is a not intimidating app, the Maiar app. Very easy to use. All right, so what is the goal for SRB before the end of the year? If there is like one goal, maybe it's just solidification. It's not about money play, but what's the goal for SRB community before the end of 2022?
So I can't speak for every team member, but I believe that our goal is community involvement and bringing the best to our community. I think that we are innovators in some of the stuff and some of the ideas that we bring, and we want to keep our community satisfied and involved with what we are doing. We want to continue bringing them new products and stuff to be excited on. We have the game that we've given a kind of a leak of a sneak peek of some of the gameplay in that, and Panda, Baloo, Grizzly, and Bearzilla. These are our guys' names. They really push hard, and they deserve all the credit in the world. And I don't think that many people even really they don't talk about them individually because they have bear names, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're absolutely incredible individuals. They're giving, and that's what we look forward and what we're really excited about doing as a project in the future with like Valentine with DNS and his son Victor. We were one of the first supporters in that, one of the first to kind of welcome him to our community because he loved the super rare bears, and we wanted to give that love back. And then nothing's more important than a child's life.
Yeah.
So to push that and to see that kind of spread as a wildfire throughout the whole Elrond community, that is what we want to be involved with. That is, we're not worried about people stealing our ideas. They're ideas for a reason, and they're out there to be used. So if anyone else is doing something similar to what we're doing, then frankly we're pretty proud of it.
You know what I love is you bring to me a high level of credibility. I mean, 18 years as a military contractor, there's a high level of discipline there. There's also a high level of credibility, and you're bringing those ethics to Web3. And I think in Web3, there are projects that have done rug pulls. There are projects that have completely where the creators or the founders or the marketing team is nowhere to be seen. And I do not spot that or feel that from you guys at all. I feel nothing but the highest level of authenticity. So, how does your past or your current career as 18 years as a military contractor, how does that play into your Web3 approach and the discipline that you are engaging with constantly on the Elrond blockchain?
Sure. So, going through contracting with the military, I've been working with every branch basically, Army, Marines, and right now I have the very special honor to share the workspace with some special forces guys. So, they've taught me a lot about discipline and reputation. Is I need to make sure that my reputation stays, as it, exactly what it should be. I don't want to represent myself incorrectly. I don't want to be considered somebody that's going to lie. And and if you're authentic with what you do, if you love what you do, then everything in this space and everything that we do is so easy. It's just it's a challenge. It's not so much of a problem or a struggle. It's just a challenge to uh, to have that patience and to have faith in the direction that you're going.
Yeah, and I also love that you mentioned, Super Victor support for the 1-year-old with SM and his father, who's very passionate and very involved in the Elrond blockchain. And I feel like, early on, if we're able to get behind and rally behind cause and driving purpose, right, doing good in the world, well, doing good for the holders, well, doing well for the holders is super important. So I'm glad that you had mentioned that as well. How did that come to be where we saw that NFT collection, which we got involved in? That wasn't a play on making money. If I look, 10 years down and, he's now a 6-year-old healthy boy and everything is great, then I would feel
Yeah.
wonderful. And then selling that. But again, getting those tokens, those NFTs, those digital assets into your wallet is a representation that you're doing good in the world. And then eventually, maybe down the line, we'll do well with that collection from a financial standpoint. What connected Super Victor and Super Rare Bears? Like, how did that come together?
His support. So he was ultimately one of the biggest supporters. He's up there in creating gifts and showing our project so much love, that it was unfortunate hearing his situation because it kind of it was fresh and he broke it out to us. And then people have a issue with credibility. Are the stories that we're hearing true? I got a crow cawking back here.
I
My
love it.
bad. And but we worry about credibility and if the story's true or not. And with him, he came through, and his story was so authentic, and he was willing to give every bit of information to show that. Um, and the team is what led that drive. Like I had it wasn't even a thought. That there's nothing to marinate over. They immediately, what can we do for you? And when you connect like that with any of your community members, then I feel like It's a tough act to follow. Like, yeah, how can we provide, if you provide this for him, how can we provide this for everyone? And we're like, there's just ways. We have to. You got to support your supporters.
I 100% agree, and I love that story and how it came together. And his father is proactive, and me being a dad,
Yeah.
really it warms my heart. How do you evaluate projects to determine what makes sense for you? I mean, you've got a pretty large collection of digital assets, and you're in multiple different communities. What's that one key ingredient that you look for that goes, I need to look at this further? It's just one thing that sets off everything else.
What's important for me is not to listen to anyone else. It's completely up to me. So I love FOMO. I love FUD. I love it all, really, because it's the experience of dealing with it. So, like, I love to hear, what people don't like about us in particular. I love to hear what people love about us. And, you take those critiques, and then you kind of fine tune yourself, and realize, that you can't win them all. And you're not gonna possess every NFT out there, and own the market. So, what I take a look at personally is, I do take a look at roadmaps. Doxing is not important to myself in particular. Look at our team. Our team. I don't even know. I don't even know their names. I don't even know where they belong, like where they are. What time is it? Are they asleep? All I
Right.
know is that I shoot them a message to start my day. I shoot them a message to end my day. They give me that same respect, and we really kind of keep the chemistry just fluid.
I love it. So 10,000 bears, kick-ass bears,
Hmm.
670 unique traits, 137 rare bears, ultra super rare bears, right?
Ultra rare bears.
Ultra rare bears, and 5,000 e-gold in traded volume. So I'm gonna be excited because we're gonna mint a bear, and I'm not gonna go floor necessarily. Like, we're gonna look through. I was kind of scrolling through before, and this is sort of the addiction to these communities when you engage, and I'm really excited because we're gonna do that shortly. You know, we talked about how to evaluate projects. You kind of said, I don't listen to really anyone else, but I love the FUD. I love the FOMO. I love it all, right? Because it's the excitement
Hmm.
of getting involved in these communities. You know, we talked about Twitter, and I'm just recapping a little bit. We talked about Twitter and getting engaged. What's the one most important question that you think for people they should be asking when they're first entering into the Web3 space? That if, like, when you were first coming in, you go back to day one with you, what would that have been? That one question.
Can I afford this? Can can I afford it? So, I'm a big dude and I love pizza. Can I not eat pizza for a week and just use that pizza money to invest? You know, so that's what I look into, is that, we have to know what our limits are, what our budgets are, and and we obviously can't tell anyone else to do whatever with their money, because everybody's kind of built different. Everybody has different conditions. Some people have kids, some people have wives, husbands, and it's so different. It's so diverse in this ecosystem. So, take a step back and look at what position you're in, and is it something that you could follow through and invest in? Don't worry about, like, how fast the money is going to be coming back to you, but is this a good investment? And will this affect my personal life if I happen to spend these funds right now? Because if your bills depend on it, you shouldn't be touching it.
100%. Sometimes people get themselves in over their heads. I say, some are comfortably uncomfortable. Some are just, done with, Web3 because
Mhm.
they came in all the excitement and they didn't put anything to the sideline for when things would tank down. And, this was probably a little before my podcast because we've been on for now 4 months. This time is July 25th. And, I would talk behind the scenes with some of my friends and I'd be like, hey, chill. There's going to be a market readjustment. There's going to be
Mhm.
some heavy market manipulation. And then there are some of these other blockchains that you guys need to start to look into. And it's starting to catch their attention, which is really exciting. So, Duncan, I'm going to be joining you in the Super Rare Bear family. Why? Simply, to me, you represent the true definition of leadership in the Elrond ecosystem, and your passion for super rare bears in the Elrond ecosystem is absolutely contagious. So, Tony, I'm going to have you take us into a quick screen share. First, that I want to share with people is the Twitter page of Super Rare Bears. As you know, I always say, getting into the kiddie pool of Web3, just go into Twitter, check it, start following them, start following Craig's Crypto Corner. Just starting going through and engaging and asking the questions. They get a lot of really good engagement. You know, getting to hear today from you, Duncan, I hope that it gives people that confidence of, okay, so this is the face of Super Rare Bears. And then behind the scenes, there's a lot of amazing people there as well. That's exciting. So now here comes the moment of truth. So I'm got my phone. I'm going to get my Maiar wallet off, and we are going to go off to the races, and we are going to get ourselves a Super Rare Bear. All right. So bear with me for just a minute as I connect my wallet. All righty. All right. Bear with me for just a minute. All righty. All right. And it's that easy, guys. It is
Pretty simple.
not hard at all. All right. So, Duncan, take the wheel. Take me through what I'm looking at. You know this collection really well because you're also one of the largest holders. And that is exciting for me because I have confidence you're going to be around for a while. And I like that. So tell me what we're looking at. And, you know, Craig, you know, how high do you want to go up? I think I would go up as high as 2.5 EGLD for you, man.
Okay. Okay, so obviously, you know, some of the rarities that you're looking for. There's obviously no ultra rare bear that's around that price, but the most popular bears that we've been seeing that kind of spark a lot of interest through the community is the one with that sort of has the clown traits, you know, like the rubber nose and the floopy hair to the sides. Some of the bears that are getting a lot of attentions are the ones that sort of look like a parody version of Venom. That I personally I like backgrounds. If I see like sort of images or items in the background, it kind of gets me interested with it, like the hollow ride looking background with the transparent and kind of neon looking lights. I do like that kind of stuff.
All right, so which bear you tell me. You're the SRB pro, so I'm gonna let you guide me on this. Now I might you might say, hey, get 2 floor tokens, and that's cool too. But you know, I think it's pretty awesome to come with like a really tough one. I love this one. This is cool. It's sort of like what with this the impixelated bear. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So I know it's always just, you know, about picking what resonates with you. So clown. I'm looking for some clowns. I don't see any clown ones.
Yeah, you know, there's actually a pretty decent one that you just passed up right now.
Show me.
So, those aliens, go up one more. That alien on the far left-hand side with the zipper. So the rarity of that is pretty high. You can kind of see it on the XO, XNO little markers that they have on the side.
By the
But
way, guys, by the way, as we're doing this in real time, Duncan, that's all I needed was to hear. Literally, you ready? It's costing me 3/100ths of a penny, 0.02 cents. So 2 cents it's costing me to buy this NFT. And guess what, my friend? I am a member. So tell us about this particular NFT that I now own, since I am part of the Super Rare Bear community with Mr. Duncan Twigg.
sure. So your fur is that, you know, the quality of what type of bear that is. He is an alien bear, so he's abnormal, not like the other bears. Has a low quantity that are remain in the supply that are even available. So those are kind of the demands that, you know, people that want to spend money and that aren't worried about, and they're not worried about money, and they go off of trade alone, they would want something like this. So to look at an alien, to look at one of the clown traits, then those are the ones we want.
So here's my NFTs. I'm just looking to find. Sure, it's going to come into my wallet shortly. You know, again, there's a lot of really great projects. But yes, the buy was successful, everybody. So in real time, I have joined the Super Rare Bear community. I got an alien, something that was not far from the floor, and I find immense value in it. And Duncan, it's an honor to have you on Craigos Crypto Corner, and we created some really amazing, epic content today, my friend. So I thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Craig, you guys really kick butt in what you do, and the quality and the content that you guys release is something that we really need here. So the Super Rare Bears and myself, we welcome you here with all of us. It's not because you got a bear either. It's because genuinely you guys do great work. So I like what you said before, that you don't look at follower count, and you're not worried about how it's formulating, right? It's more important to own your product and to do what you do. So you guys are great with it. So keep doing what you're doing, and I encourage absolutely everyone to give you guys a follow, to give you a subscribe on YouTube, and genuinely give Craig some listens, because he cares, and he wants to be active and a part of this, and to be giving something to this. So
Absolutely.
and I actually want to give you an abominator too. So after we get off here, I'll send you an abominator, so that in the future you can look forward to mutating and getting a mutated bear.
I love it. I love it. I'm really excited, and this is also one of the pleasures of having great guests on like yourself and the Super Rare Bear community. I want everybody to check that out, and obviously connect with Duncan Twigg on Twitter as well. He's super active, super friendly, professional, and engaging. My friend, more great content to come over the next years. A diamond mine, diamond hands approach is always been my thing, and it's been an honor to have you on Craigos Crypto Corner today.
Thank you. The pleasure's all mine, for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.